Hey everybody. So school has been going on for about 3 weeks now, which is very exciting because both Chris and I are, as I've probably said before, Chris is a physics and chemistry teacher in the Bruderhof High School, which is the Mount Academy, located at the Mount, which is where our family lives. And this year I started a new job working, doing administrative work in the guidance department, which I am absolutely enjoying. So much fun. Talk to kids, help figure out schedules and this type of stuff. So it's a lot of fun. So I'm not teaching, just if anybody thought I was. I don't think I can quite handle standing in front of a classroom full of people. I mean, here I am standing in front of all of you, but it's actually just my camera, even though I imagine that you're there. Anyway, so one thing that Chris is doing that's new for him this year is that he is the junior varsity dance instructor. So they have a segment as part of their schooling, performing arts. Each student in the high school is involved somehow in a performing arts, be it dance, be it music, the fine arts. Anyway, so Chris is doing dance. Okay, and I think he's a really great dancer. Like, I think he's great. But just imagining him instructing dance to a bunch of teenagers, to me, is just hilarious. So he's actually writing the dance. I mean, he's using dance moves from all over, but he is kind of putting together a dance. It includes like music from, now I'm totally forgetting. There's like one country line dance portion, and then they're putting in some Irish dance steps to the Wellerman. I'm like totally blanking out now, but he practices a lot in our house with the boys, which of course is really fun. Anyway, so that was a really long intro, but today I'm going to be answering some of your questions because I feel like I haven't done this in a very long time. So the first question is, how much or how little time and attention is given to what's on the news every day? I, for one, have adopted a view of not watching it at all. I can say it is rare that I watch, and that is the truth. What is your stance on the news media and what they put out? I, for one, have a lot more peace in my soul and mind simply by leaving it completely alone. I believe in getting true facts about the world's daily news, but honestly, I can find that out in a few minutes. So first of all, great question. There are people here who follow the news very closely. My dad is one of them, and he does it because he feels that it's important to pay attention to what's going on. And I know he's not the only one. And I think it's pretty impressive how up-to-date many people are on different world events. But personally, I actually feel a lot like you. Sometimes it's just so depressing to read the news, and also the internet has enabled you to be consumed by the news minute by minute if you want, and I think that that is unhealthy and unnecessary. Of course, I try to keep up with what's going on by reading whatever, like the newspaper. I also like to listen to the news when I'm going about doing my housework. But other than that, I've actually decided that one thing I can do is keep it on a praying heart. Like everything that's going on in the world, just like pray about it and pray for the people. But trying to keep up with the news, rather use the time that I was going to try to like catch up with the news. I think my time would probably be better spent doing something fun with my boys, or I don't know, making another batch of granola for someone or something like that. But honestly, on a more serious note, I'm just remembering, I know I've said this before, but I went to Greece 5-6 years ago when there was a big influx of migrants landing on the island of Lesbos, and I volunteered there for a couple weeks with Save the Children. And there were a lot of like news anchors and people announcing things and saying everything that was going on, and we were reading it when we would get back to our place we were staying in the evening, and it never quite fully, I don't think they ever really managed to do a, whatever, they were doing their best, the media was doing their best, but I don't think you managed to get like the whole feel of everything from all sides through one media outlet. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think things often are a lot more complicated when you're there and experiencing it than just reading it from afar. Anyway, so the next question is, okay, if someone commits a criminal offense, how is this dealt with? Are they allowed back into the community after prison? So, if someone committed a crime, the police would be notified. We believe the role of the government is to maintain order and safety, and we respect and support this. So if a member would go to prison for a crime, they would be able to come back to the community after a prison sentence if it was truly set right, and that they would not pose a danger to other community members. If you want to read more about how we view the role of government authorities, you can read an article by John Hewlett, who's also a Bruderhof member, and it's in the Plough Quarterly, which I'll link below. It's a very good article. So the next question is, if you want to read a specific book that you've read about online and the Bruderhof doesn't own it already, will they order it for you? So the answer to that is yes, although I have to say that I haven't found a ton of time to do all the reading I would like to do, so this hasn't really been a problem for me yet. A lot of people I know who are avid readers have library cards from the local public libraries, which at least here in New York State have a pretty impressive interlibrary loan system, and they can always find what they're looking for there, and of course you can just go visit the library. My mom is a big reader, and she does that a lot, so go mom, go reading. Okay, next question is, if you want to read, I just asked that question. Okay, the next one. So the next question is, if there are single people or widows or widowers and they have not found anyone to be friends with, are there ways they are included in the community? Can married couples have friendships with other couples? Are there any members of the Bruderhof who have assignments that make them particularly vulnerable to loneliness? I only ask these questions because there are so many lonely people in the world. So I really like this question here, and the answer is yes. We try to be intentional about including people who don't have a lot of family. Our community doesn't gather every single evening of the week, so those times when we're not meeting are a great chance to invite people who would otherwise spend the evening by themselves. Chris and I try to do that a lot, and even after a meeting or whatever, we'll have people by, and it's a lot of fun. So, and I've learned a lot from the people who come by our house. And yes, married couples absolutely have friendships with other couples. Our next door neighbors are all young couples with 1 or 2 children, and we really enjoy spending time together, kind of like comparing notes, hanging out. We have these really wide hallways, so our kids will like play on their little scooters or kiddie cars together, throw a ball back and forth. Anyway, it's really fun. And as to the last part of the question, about members who have assignments that might make them particularly vulnerable to loneliness, I can't think of anyone that I know who works completely alone. I mean, even if your job requires you to focus and not really interact with other people, I'm thinking of like a job like computer programming, which has a few heroic people doing that job around here. Even in that case, there are chances during the day to meet up with other people. So like during the week around 10 o'clock each morning and 3 o'clock every afternoon, there's like a coffee break in the main workshop area, and anyone and everyone is welcome to take like a break for 15 minutes, have a cup of coffee, whatever, maybe you're a tea drinker or you drink water or whatever. Anyway, just grab a cup and spend time with other people. And one thing that I really enjoy is when different kids groups will stop by to sing a song or bring a set of pictures they've drawn that can be hung up in the different work areas, or they'll make a batch of cookies or pass them around. Those are always my favorite break times. Anyway, but hopefully anybody who was feeling lonely before that will walk away encouraged. So those are all the questions that I have time for today, and don't forget to keep asking them, and I will try to keep remembering to answer them too. So, bye.